Good morning. We begin our time together in song with Elise Witt's Open the Window. Please make sure your microphone is muted and sing along enthusiastically to welcome in this new day and all this liquid sunshine that we've been having. Let us sing. Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Gwinnett. My name is Jan Taddeo. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. It is my great joy and an extreme privilege to serve our faith as the minister of this congregation. I am so glad we can be together in whatever way is possible on this day. If you have a chalice or a candle at home to light with us in a few minutes, please make sure you have that ready as I offer our words of welcome. We arrive here from many places and many life experiences as we gather in this cherished space to recall our true selves, reflect on the meaning of our lives, and explore questions of ultimacy together. We are people who are new to Unitarian Universalism, and we are people who are lifelong Unitarian Universalists and people all across that journey. We are people of many religious beliefs and spiritual practices. We affirm and promote the responsible search for truth and meaning. We are people of many genders and sexualities. We are people of many ethnicities, origins, ages, shapes, sizes, and expressions of our true selves. We affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of all people. We are people of all ages, family structures, and each brings gifts, talents, and passions that serve to affirm and promote communities with peace, liberty, and justice for all. We are people of covenant who engage with one another in ways that promote and affirm justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. We are people who care deeply for our beloved planet and understand we are inextricably and profoundly connected with the web of all existence. We are people who welcome all who are seeking a community of faith that welcomes your whole self. All that you were, all that you are, all that you yearn to be is welcome here. And you are just where you should be, in a room full of compassionate, thoughtful Unitarian Universalists ready to meet you where you are. You are welcome. You are home. If you are a newcomer this morning, we welcome you and hope you will indeed find your spiritual home here with us. We are becoming a radically welcoming sanctuary in a green space. We foster spiritual growth as we joyfully nurture connections and community within our walls and beyond. If this is your first time here, I encourage you to join us several times to experience the full flavor of this congregation and this faith tradition. Come and be curious, courageous, and compassionate with us. Welcome. And now let us bring our full selves into this precious time we have set aside to be together this week and on this beautiful morning. Take a deep breath with me. And as sound echoes and vibrates through us and around us, let us be reminded how inextricably and profoundly interconnected we are with each other, with all beings on this planet, with all the stars in the cosmos. Let us remember we are one. The words for our call to worship were written by Reverend Kimberly Ann Tomczyk Carlson, called A Place of Belonging and Caring. It is not by chance that you arrived here today. You have been looking for something larger than yourself. Inside of you, there is a yearning, a calling, a hope for more, a desire for a place of belonging and care. Through your struggles, someone nurtured you into being, instilling a belief in a shared purpose, a common yet precious resource that belongs to all of us when we share. And so you began looking and seeking a beloved community, a people that does not put fences around love, a community that holds its arms open to the possibilities of love, a heart home to nourish your soul and share your gifts. Welcome home. Welcome to worship. And now if your chalices are ready, please light them with me as I light our congregational chalice. And I offer these words from Marianne Hatchin Cotter. May this light kindle within us the warmth of compassion, the glow of love, the fire of commitment, and the light of truth. And now I'm going to we're going to move into our time for all ages, and I just need a moment to just make sure, because I'm going to go to that close-up camera again. I want to make sure I look okay before I come and sit down right in front of you, you know, make sure that my face looks good, nothing's, you know, hanging anywhere it shouldn't hang. Yeah, I think I'm good. All right. So normally if we were in the sanctuary, I'd just ask 9 people to come forward and volunteer to be part of this time for all ages. So we're going to try something different today. I'm going to invite people. I need 9 volunteers to be human mirrors for me. And if you're willing to be one of our volunteers, then I ask you to raise your hand using the Zoom hand raise feature. You'll find that under reactions or under participants, depending on your device and your version of Zoom. So today's Zoom manager, Gabby Maduro Salvare, will find you and spotlight you one at a time so that your face will show up right next to mine on the screen. And when you are spotlighted, then unmute your microphone and be my mirror. And here's what you'll need to do. You just say to me, you have something on your face. And then I'm going to respond with something, and then you're done. And the next person will be spotlighted and have their turn, and they'll say to me, you have something on your face. And then I'll respond, and then the next person, and so forth, till all 9 people have had a chance. Do we have 9 volunteers yet? They can be people of any age, because this is the time for all ages, right? There might be like 3 or 4 people in one household, maybe. Let's see what happens. Yep, but those 3 households that have raised their hand probably have 9 people among them. So, all right, Gabby, send someone my way. Okay, which one of you is going to go first?
Oh, okay. Fauna goes first.
There's something on your face.
Oh, nope. I don't have anything on my face.
Reverend Jan. Hey, yes. Jan, I hate to beg to differ, but there's something on your face.
No, what are you talking about? You're wrong. I'm not going to listen to you, Dan. Nope.
You have something on your face, Reverend Jan.
Really, Gwydion? Well, funny you should say that, because you are the one who has something on your face.
You have dirt on your face.
You must be joking. I'm an expert face washer, Bodhi. I have studied face washing for years. There's nothing on my face. Who's next?
I can't actually see your face, Jan.
No.
But oh, you're in the other screen there. Okay. Got the wrong screen up. I can't yeah, you got something on your face.
Oh, how dare you tell me I have something on my face. You don't get to play with me anymore.
Well, you have something on your face, Reverend Jan.
Oh, how dare you tell me I have something on my face. I'm going to leave the game now.
Go on, Kat. Tell her.
You have something on your face.
Really? I have something on my face? What's wrong with me? I'm going back to bed.
I'm pretty sure you have something on your face.
Well, everybody has something on their face. So why mention it? There's nothing we can do about it. It's always going to be this way.
You have something on your face.
Oh, Laura, I have something on my face? Well, thank you for telling me. I really appreciate you letting me know.
There might be something wrong with your mirror.
I bet if we were in the room together, you would be willing to help me wash my face. So let me know when it's gone, okay? I want to make sure I really get it clean. Is it looking better now, Laura?
Looking better.
Thank you so much. It was so kind of you to let me know I had something on my face. I appreciate it. Well, thank you all for taking part in this Time for All Ages. And I'm going to just say a little bit more about what we did, and also remind those of you who participated to mute your microphone again. When you think about being in community together and what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist, which response do you think was the best? Since I can't hear you shouting out the answer, I'll offer, was it the first one when I said that there was nothing on my face? I just denied that this person was telling me anything that was true? Was it the one when I told you I wouldn't play with you anymore? I'm going to go home. I'm going to end this game. I'm going to go back to bed. Well, sometimes when we are building community together, it's important to listen to what other people have to say, even if we might not want to hear it at first. But we do that because it's part of our covenant, our promise to each other. There are times when we need to hear news or feedback that causes us discomfort. But in hearing it and responding to it constructively, we can more easily go about building beloved community. This is especially true when it comes to feedback about how cultural privilege along race, gender identity, disability, ability, sexual orientation, or class impacts others. This story demonstrates the many ways that we respond, some unskillful, and ending with the one that affirms our covenant with one another. Thank you. And now let us sing together, Love Knocks and Waits for Us to Hear.
A reading entitled Beloved Community Is by Reverend Michael Slack and Alex Capitan. Beloved community is when we say we, and we mean everyone. Beloved community is not homogeneous. It can't be. When commonality is presumed, when we make assumptions about who's present and whether people are like us or not, we're not practicing beloved community, because beloved community doesn't make those assumptions. It doesn't presume commonality or a sense of being homogeneous. Another thing that beloved community is not like-minded. We are not called to be like-minded in spiritual community. We are called to be like-hearted. And finally, beloved community is not devoid of conflict. And this one is also really hard. Beloved community is not easy. There's nothing easy about practicing beloved community. When we avoid conflict in order to get along, we're not practicing beloved community, because beloved community exists when we trust each other. When we have the relationships, the strong enough relationships to actually disagree with each other, to be in conflict, even to risk hurting each other. And we can stay in relationship through those disagreements and conflict and potential hurt. That is practicing beloved community.
When I hear your voice, I almost cry. And when you laugh, it makes me sigh. When I read your words, I wonder why we're together now, more than ever now.
And though distant you may seem to be, you really aren't so far from me. I can feel you here right where I am. If you close your eyes, maybe you can.
Sing to me now, sing me a song, the one where the mountains and the sky come crumbling down, and still we stand side by side. When I see your face, oh, how you shine, a precious light, a star divine.
How your beauty just reflects back mine. Hold out your heart like a lifeline.
Sing to me now, sing me a song, the one where the mountains and the sky come crumbling down, and still we stand side by side. I say to you now, I'll sing you a song, the one where the mountains and the sky come crumbling down, and still we stand side by side. Side by side.
Our theme this month is beloved community, and today I want to talk about the spiritual practice of beloved community, and I'll come back to some of the readings and the song here in a moment. But I want to just start with the idea of a community of practice. Every weekday, Monday through Friday, I sit down at my computer, open up my Zoom, and log in to a room full of my colleagues in the Warriors for the Human Spirit program. We sit down and we meditate for 20 minutes, and then we have 10 minutes of very brief check-in that's based on some kind of a prompt. Whoever's leading that week will offer a prompt, and we just have about a minute to reflect on that prompt that is based on the teachings of being a warrior for the human spirit. It's a time of reflection, connection, and doing this every day together with others has built tremendous sense of community and care for one another. The practice of meditation every day helps me and the others who are doing this, all kinds of meditation around the globe, develop a greater sense of awakeness and awareness to the world, to the beauty, to the goodness, to the joy, to the essential basic goodness that is in everything. That's our work, that's our practice, to continue to hone that skill of seeing the basic goodness, to being awake to it. And I mentioned this for a couple of reasons, because having a community of practice certainly makes this much more effective for me. Just doing this on my own, I'm not as well guided. I don't have the feedback from others about how I'm doing with this practice. And that's why I think being in community needs to be lifted up as a spiritual practice, something we have to be very intentional about, that we do together, that we offer feedback about how's that going. The Reverend Michael Slack and Zir Alex Capitan are the founders of the Transforming Hearts Collective, and they are the ones who developed the Transgender Inclusion in Congregations program that about 20 people in the congregation have been engaging with, and will finish up this month. And then we'll open it up for more people to engage with it and more small group conversations. Now, it's a self-study program. People could just watch the videos and read the readings. But having the discussion is critical to developing a community of practice in learning about these new ideas and putting them into practice in our own lives, in our congregation, in our other communities. And remember, they've said that beloved community is not homogeneous. It is not like-minded. It's like-hearted. And when we talk about what's on our heart, that's the courage. It's the place where we know ourselves, we know our values, we know what's most important to us. It's what moves us to right action, knowing our heart. And being like-hearted in community doesn't mean that we're devoid of conflict and that we're just going to get along. It means we have to practice. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is well known for his thoughts on beloved community. He says of beloved community, it's a critical mass of people committed to and trained in the philosophy and methods of nonviolence. Disputes are resolved by peaceful conflict resolution and reconciliation methods. There's love and trust in a beloved community, and these triumph over fear and hatred. Now, in the story this morning, when people said I had something on my face, my first 8 reactions were all ways of pushing it back on the other person, or being in denial, or just walking away, or just not accepting that feedback, just not being willing to hear that. And that is actually a form of aggression, to shut out someone's feedback. It doesn't, when we think of aggression, we often think we have to have weapons or fists or something, but aggression is very common in our words, in our language, in our body language. So there's lots of ways to offer and receive feedback. And it could be about a whole range of subjects, not just someone having something on their face, but the hard feedback, the hard feedback that you have to give somebody. And we have not really explored in this congregation a lot about the art of nonviolent communication, where one has to clarify their feelings and their needs. We use it in our pastoral care conversations sometimes. I've used it in working with people who are in conflict and having them really contemplate what are their feelings and name those feelings, and what are the needs that aren't being met. And then looking at what are the requests that need to be made to bring them into agreement, or at least into a non-aggressive way of engaging difference of opinion. When we are engaging in conflict, we ought to be thoughtful and curious, ask questions. And when we're giving feedback, one of the things I have up on my wall, a little note that reminds me to wonder first, is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? And is this the best time to offer it? And then beloved community isn't just within these walls. In Martin Luther King's vision, this was global. So we need to think about it in part in our little community, our congregation, but also in the other communities that we're a part of and the families that we're in and all of these. How do we build these concepts of love and trust, not just within our walls, but in all our communities and in all our relations? Part of that is through trust, compassion, and inquiry, which are the cornerstone of our UUCG covenants, our leadership covenant, our covenant of right relations, our ministerial covenant, and our staff covenant. But we also might want to ask, why do we want to build up this practice of how to provide feedback, how to engage conflict well? It's because conflict is unavoidable, for one thing. We are just not really like-minded. I like the term like-hearted. I've often said kindred spirits, but like-hearted is a beautiful one. I'm replacing kindred spirits with like-heartedness. But on a bigger scale, we live in really challenging times. And I know I'm not the only one in the room who has an understanding that times will get more challenging. That climate change is continuing to change the whole way that our Earth is functioning. It's killing off species. It's creating great droughts and fires and floods and famine. And people are having to migrate to new places to find those things. A little trigger warning, there's a really, really bad situation in Yemen right now with 2 million children who are starving. So things are going to be continuing to get kind of rough. And even just in this pandemic, I can't count the number of times someone on Facebook has said, is it just me? Or is everyone's fuse a little short these days? And boy, the responses are overwhelming. Yeah, people's fuses are getting a little short these days. It's hard to live this way without the hugs, the touch, the energy we get when we're in the same space. I can't wait to stop looking in a camera on Sunday morning so I can see your faces in the room and see your nods and your smiles and your distractedness and all that comes with Sunday morning. These are hard times. It's going to get harder. So when the mountain and the sky come tumbling down, we have to still stand side by side. Side by side. So it's going to take practice. And how do we practice when we're in Zoom land, right? But we can do it. We still can do it. I've gotten short on a Zoom call. Fortunately, with very forgiving people. So it takes practice. It takes failures. It takes practicing humility, being willing to know when you've made a mistake, to apologize, to own it. It takes bravery. Bravery to speak truth sometimes when it needs to be said, when it's kind and truthful and necessary and timely, to be brave enough to share what needs to be shared. It requires forgiveness. Not saying that what someone else did is okay, but being able to let go of how we're going to hold it. Being able to change how we hold what happened. This is how we sustain a community of love. Through trust, compassion, inquiry, humility, bravery, forgiveness. And these are all in our congregational covenant. And we can practice this wherever we are, in any community, in any relationship, on any Zoom call. Practice respect and dignity, empathy, forgiveness, and gratitude. Be sure to include gratitude. Being accountable and responsible for all that we do and all that we say we're going to do. Living into questioning and listening with open minds and open hearts. Practicing direct communication. And when we are too fearful to have direct communication, being brave enough to ask for support from me or our pastoral care team to assist with direct communication. And when we're out in the world, to really be an example of ethic, of peace, liberty, and justice. And these are complex, multifaceted concepts we could pull apart in another service, but carrying that ethic of peace, liberty, and justice wherever we go is valuable. So again, the beloved community is global. So what we aim to do is create models of beloved community, and in our congregation, a model of beloved community, or what my teacher, Meg Wheatley, calls islands of sanity. And I love that terminology. An island where people know how to practice compassion and forgiveness and love at the center of all that we do. A people that does not put fences around love. A community that holds its arms open to the possibilities of love. A heart home to nourish your soul and share your gifts so that you are emboldened when you go out into the world. We create this island of sanity, this model of beloved community, as a place of belonging and caring, with a shared purpose, with like-hearted people, a community of heart connection, a community that is answering the call of love in a world that so desperately needs more love. May it be so. And now I invite you to enter into a spirit of prayer or meditation, reflection, intention, as I offer the words of the Reverend Hope Johnson called One Love that I have adapted as a prayer. Beloveds, in the holy oneness of all that is, we are one, a diverse group of proudly kindred spirits, here not by coincidence, but because we choose to journey together. We are active and proactive. We care deeply. We live our love as best we can. We are one, working, eating, laughing, playing, singing, storytelling, sharing, and rejoicing, getting to know each other, taking risks, opening up, questioning, seeking, searching, trying to understand, struggling, making mistakes, paying attention, living our answers, learning to love our neighbors, learning to love ourselves, apologizing and forgiving with humility, being forgiven through grace, creating the beloved community. Together, we are one. May it always be so. Amen. And let us respond by singing Open My Heart by Henry Fleury. We'll sing it 3 times. Our congregation is committed to creating a more compassionate world, and to this end, each quarter we split our plate collection with an organization nominated by someone in the congregation, and selected by our Giveaway the Plate committee. We very much need some more nominations. You can send those to giveawaytheplate@uucg.org, or just send it to me and I'll forward it. Our first quarter plate recipient is Beyond the Ribbon, a Gwinnett-based organization advocating for support and resources beyond the diagnosis of cancer to educate, inspire hope, cultivate awareness, and empower individuals. Beyond the Ribbon volunteers educate, support, and provide resources to patients and their families, and offer various initiatives to increase community support for people living with cancer. Our plate contributions also support the shared ministry of this congregation, so I invite you to give generously to support the work of this important ministry in our wider community, as well as the vision and mission of this congregation. As we listen to a recording of our pianist Brian Bishop playing Minuet in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach, you will see on the screen ways to contribute to our offering via PayPal, Venmo, or by mailing a check payable to UUCG to the address shown. If you are worshiping with us for the first time today, your presence here is a tremendous gift to this congregation, and you may choose to let the plate pass if you like. Thank you. The offering will now be most gratefully received. May the generous gifts we received this week move us towards realizing our vision of a more connected and compassionate world. I am grateful for Bob Patrick for sharing his voice in the service this morning. I am also very grateful to Gabby Maduro Salvare, and who has just joined our new Zoom manager team. Next week, Barbara Stenke, and the next time we meet after that, Tony Nastri. We have 3 fabulous people who have signed up to be our Zoom managers, so please send your gratitude to them. And as always, we offer our gratitude to Russ Taddeo for running video and sound. I joked with him that I have to get a couple more spouses if he wants to rotate out, so but I'm going to stick with just the one I got. It's working out pretty good. Now is the time for our call to connection. To stay strong and vital as a community, it is so important we stay connected and seek ways to find ways to connect between Sundays. So if you are new to our congregation, you can text welcoming to this number on the screen and receive more information about our congregation and ways to connect. You just receive a few texts and emails. It doesn't last forever. It's just for a few weeks. And then you can also sign up for our weekly e-news that has information about upcoming activities, as well as announcements about our Sunday morning religious exploration program and the worship service. Send your request to info@uucg.org to get on that mailing list. And if you want to see what kinds of activities we're offering, you can also go to our website and look at the calendar, and you can find a link in the middle of the site off to the right that says register for events. And then you'll see a form come up with all the various offerings that we have that you can sign up for. So please get engaged. And one way that you can get engaged, I'm very pleased to announce that we are going to be offering our brand new Starting Point program and Introduction to the Unitarian Universalist Journey. If you're new to the congregation, or you've been with us for a long time and want an opportunity to fall in love with your congregation and Unitarian Universalism all over again, consider signing up for our first Starting Point program. This program invites newcomers and current members to gather 4 times in a small group ministry model to journey together in exploring Unitarian Universalism making and deepening connections with new people, and engaging in congregational life in meaningful ways. There are 4 sessions. They start on Sunday, March 14th, and they'll be for 1 hour. It's at 2 o'clock for 1 hour. And then there'll be every other Sunday and ending on April 25th. So 4 Sundays for an hour starting March 14th, every other week. So pleased that Barbara Stanke and Katrina Yurko will facilitate this first time using this new program here. And Peggy Averett has already agreed to be one of our longtime members who will participate. Registration is open. Registration is limited. So please register soon. And a reminder that if you missed a service or you want to hear a service again, they're up on our YouTube channel. Or if you're new to the congregation and want to listen to some past services we've offered, you can find them there. If you are looking for ways to be of service, every first Sunday of the month, we collect food donations for the Lawrenceville Cooperative Ministry. We are so good at this now. Last Sunday, we brought in over 480 pounds of food, and that's cool. Our next collection will be March 7th. So look forward to maybe seeing you there when you drop off. That's one of the nice things about bringing donations is you actually get to see people masked at a distance, but you get to see their whole 3-dimensional selves. It's pretty cool. Another way to help out is if you're eligible, we would really love for you to donate platelets. And when you do donate platelets, please tell them it's for Team Terry. It's a member of our congregation who is battling leukemia and still needs those platelets. So please donate if you are able. We are going to be distributing spring renewal bags soon in mid-March, and we're going to be delivering them in t-shirt bags. So we need lots of t-shirts. I know if you dig in your drawers, you'll find some old t-shirts that you don't really use anymore, and maybe you love them, but maybe you're willing to gift them to someone else, and maybe you'll even get yours back. Who knows? And then I have 2 volunteers to make bags, which might be enough, but if you're got a sewing machine, it's really, really easy. If you want to volunteer to sew a few bags for us, that would be great. You can drop off your t-shirts at the church. There's a gray bin on the bench in front of the door of the church. Just put them in the bin and we'll pick them up there. And thank you for all who have dropped them off so far. I picked them up this week, and thank you. And now, some ways to engage your search for truth and meaning this week and going forward. Today at 12:30, we have the Belief Exploration Program that goes until 1:30. Really great program. A lot of people attend this, and it's very fulfilling. So please join us. The book club is coming up on February 24th. So if you want to read the book and join for a discussion, it's Other People's Pets. You can see that on the screen. And now our religious exploration programs for elementary age children are available on Sundays at 12:30, except on the second Sunday, which is today. We would have sent out materials to people who have registered for the program. If you have elementary age school children and have not yet registered them for our religious exploration program, please consider doing so. All our programs for children require registration in order to gain access. They meet on Zoom at 12:30. Every other Sunday except this one. Every Sunday except this one, the second Sunday. Our adult religious exploration program, which is also quite accessible for our teens, is at 10 o'clock in the morning, though I know teens don't like 10 o'clock in the morning as a time, but it is available, and it's a great conversation about our monthly theme this month, Beloved Community. Several opportunities to connect on a regular basis. Second Mondays is Gwinnett Understanding Secular Truths. If you want to get involved with the choir, even if you're not ready to sing virtual songs with us yet, if you just want to come and get to know us and connect with us so that when we're together, you'll know who we are, come and join us. Yarns from the Heart, first and third Wednesdays. Courageous Coffee House is every Thursday. Bring your song, your poem, your reading, your meditation, whatever. Bring something to share. That's why it's courageous, because you're bringing something of yourself. And Women's Spirituality on second Fridays, and Exploring Tarot with Sherry at 4 o'clock on Sundays. as we say together the words we say as we extinguish our chalice, followed by our closing song, Answering the Call of Love by Jason Shelton. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of community, fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Closing words from Laura Lynn Bellamy. If here you have found freedom, take it with you into the world. If you have found comfort, go and share it with others. If you have dreamed dreams, help one another that they may come true. If you have known love, give some back to a bruised and hurting world. Our service has ended, and now our service to one another and our wider communities begins. Be well, beloveds. Please continue to take good care. These mutations of the virus are getting scarier. So please take good care. Even if you've been vaccinated, continue to wear your mask and maintain distance. You're so precious, and I look forward to seeing you next week.